So today we are continuing learning about the Ukraine. Yesterday we talked about some of the basic facts, the capital, what the flag looks like, the population, the language, what kind of animals live there, and we talked about where it was in the world, so how it's located in Europe, and how there are 7 countries that surround it. Okay. We also talked about the regions, how there's the mountain region, the steppe region, and then we have like the coastal region. We also talked about how there's different rivers that go through the Ukraine. Then we talked about the different foods. So if you remember, that paska was the bread, sauerkraut was the cabbage, the uzvar was the drink, then we had borscht as the soup, the chicken Kiev as the chicken fillet, and pierogies, Miss K's favorite. So today we are talking about industry, and we're starting to really look at the quality of life in the Ukraine. So remember from our last 2 lessons, or last 2 countries, that industry is a word that we use to describe how a country and the people who live in it earn money. So Ukraine has had many recessions over the past couple of decades. But my question to you is, what is a decade? So if you actually look in Google, it says that a decade is a period of 10 years. So basically, over the last 10 years, the Ukraine has had a recession. So a recession is when a country and the people living in it have a difficult time earning money. And it can happen for a lot of different reasons. So one of those reasons could be war or conflicts or even just having bad crops, okay? So maybe they had a drought or too much rain and things didn't grow the way they needed, or just the changes in our world. So just maybe people don't need as much of the things that they were selling before. So many people have had a difficult time earning as much money as they once did in the Ukraine. So my question to you guys is, what do you think this means for their families? Is that a good thing that they're earning less money, or is it a bad thing? What does that mean for the families? Do they have enough food to eat? Things like that. So just take a minute and think about what that means for the families and how having a difficult time can affect everyone in the Ukraine. So the main industries in the Ukraine are coal mining. They create electric power. They work with machines and transport equipment, and agriculture. So remember, agriculture is farming, and they make food and wool. So if you want to look more into what the actual industries are, a good website is Britannica. And let's see, I can get it up here. So if you scroll down on the page, you'll be able to see a lot of information just about the different things that we're talking about the Ukraine. So there's a lot of good information here. You can see the animals, the culture, all of this. Okay, education. Now there's economy. Okay, so it goes into a little bit more details about what the economy is like and all of the important things about the economy. So what you're going to do next is you are going to write about the industry. Now you can either write about it from the UAE, or you can write about what the industry is like in your home country. So if you were choosing the industry in the UAE, I want you to think about what jobs people have. How do people make money in the UAE? And how do people make money in the Ukraine? So remember that this is a Venn diagram. So in the middle, that is where we put the things that are the same. And then on the sides is where we put the things that are different. Okay? That is your first job. See if you can come up with maybe 4 jobs as a good starting point. But if you can think of more than 4, that would be awesome. Now, your next step is to think about the industry in another country that we've learned about. So you can either choose Peru or you can choose Tunisia. That is up to you which country you can remember the most about. So think about, again, what the jobs were in either Peru or Tunisia, because you only have to choose one, and what is the difference between the industry and the Ukraine. Are there the same jobs? And remember, same goes in the middle. Or are there different jobs? And different goes in the sides here. Okay? So that's what you're going to do. So I want you to pause the video, maybe do a little bit of research if you need to remember, and think about what is some of the jobs in the UAE, what are some of the jobs in the Ukraine, and then you can still have those same jobs that you have here in the Ukraine and bring them down to here, where you compare them to either Peru or Tunisia, okay? So I want you to pause the video and complete that, and then come back when you're finished. You can unpause and keep playing the video. All right, so what you need to do now is you are going to draw pictures that show family life in the Ukraine. So there are 4 statements here. The first one is that family is very important to Ukrainians, and many are familiar with their family lineage. That basically means that they can trace back a lot of people in their family. So they know who their grandparents are, who their great-grandparents are, who their great-great-great-grandparents are. Maybe they can even go further than that. Okay, they can basically name all of their relatives. So like I said, including great and great-great-grandparents, aunts, and even uncles. So what do you think you could draw here that would represent this statement? Maybe a family tree, maybe you just have a lot of people in it, okay? So that's what you need to do for your first one, is you're just going to draw whatever you feel like you think best represents that statement. Then you're going to go to statement number 2, okay, which is here. And it says, sometimes more than one generations of a family will live in the same house. And the question is this similar to your family? And if not, what do you think this would be like? So you can either answer this question, or you can just draw a picture of this statement here. So what that means is that there's more than just you, your mom and dad, maybe your brother and sister living in the same house. Maybe you have your grandma and grandpa that live with you. Or maybe you have your great-grandma and great-grandpa living with you. Okay, so that's what you can do for that one. For the third box, Ukrainians often celebrate holidays in a big family circle. Before Easter, Ukrainians clean their house, decorate eggs, which we've talked about in class, the Pisansky eggs, and they bake traditional Easter bread, which is Pascha. So you can draw a picture to reflect this statement. Maybe you want to draw a picture of lots of people celebrating. Maybe you want to draw some of their fancy eggs, or maybe you want to go back and draw a picture of the bread. And then we have the last one. And the last one is that Christmas and New Year's are the favorite holidays for Ukrainians. And Ukrainians actually celebrate Christmas on January 7th, and they usually set up a Christmas tree and open presents. So it's different. It's a different time than a lot of the other world. So North America normally celebrates Christmas on December 25th. Okay, so it is different. But again, how will you represent this in a picture? So maybe you're going to have fireworks for New Year's, or a tree for Christmas, or maybe just have a bunch of presents, okay? That is what you need to do now. So you're going to pause the page, and then you will finish that for me. Okay, and when you're finished, both the pages, so for the industry in the Ukraine and for the family life in the Ukraine, I would like you to just quickly take a picture and send those to me on Class Dojo, just so I can see how you did. Okay? And here's your challenge today. So this is a letter from a Ukrainian boy named Andrew. So feel free to read it, okay? And he's going to be telling you about his school. So your job today is to write him back. So using this template, and there are some ideas at the bottom here to help you, okay? You can actually just respond to his letter. That is fine. You can have like the same kind of paragraphs, okay, you're going to write back to him. So you need to write the letter to Andrew. So think about the things that we need in our letter. Again, capital letters at the start. We need full stops at the end, okay? And remember to keep your handwriting neat. And again, use the ideas on the bottom to answer. When you're finished your letter, you can take a picture of it and you can send it to me, or even you could do a video and read it to me. That would be cool too. And then when you're finished all of that, there's some bonus pages here for you to do. So there's a word search, and you can even design your own egg. There are some meanings of the different symbols that you'll see on the eggs. So you can see that there's some pictures here of some eggs, and then you can actually see what they mean. And then you can come up with three ideas for symbols and write your own meaning for those. And then you can draw it there and there. And you can even draw me an Easter egg, which I would love to see. Okay? And those two activities, the word search and the eggs, those are bonus extra activities. So if you're bored at home, you're looking for something else to do, feel free to do the egg and the word search. Okay? So have fun. I'm looking forward to reading your letters and to see your family life pictures and your Venn diagrams about industry. All right? Have fun.